We are legion, for we are many. We know what you have been doing. We see all, and we know. Sorry. Hi YouTubers, you alright? Greetings and welcome fellow YouTubers. Sorry about that, it's a new little dress code that we've been trying to sort out earlier on today. Yes, in this video we're going to be talking a little bit about Minecraft, redo the healer, and say a little bit about a dress code, and the computer game Shadow Legends. All that coming up in this week's weekly update. Sorry about that. Yeah, as I said, first thing first, I've been trying to see. Oh, let me grab this. Yeah, I've been trying to see if we can get a bit of a substitute for masks. Now, I thought I'd try this because it had a little bit of a thing here. So I thought these things would probably be decent enough for air ventilation to stop my glasses from steaming up. Doesn't work, does it? Flip. Yeah, and of course, apart from the side effect, though, it looks a little bit like Darth Vader. No. Okay, so this weekly update is sort of like a bit of a diary, more or less for myself, just to on my trials to get 1,000 videos and hopefully 1,000 subs. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, this is sort of like a diary as to what I've done throughout the week. Now, I used to do this many years, a couple of years back when I kind of started out. Unfortunately, it kind of stopped because of time, and the way I was doing it was very long and time consuming. So I'm going to try and change that around a bit. But let's get on with basically what we done throughout the week. So on Monday and Tuesday, yeah, I think at the beginning of the week we started off with a little bit of a light relaxation with Minecraft. We didn't really do too much in Minecraft. I mean, we created a new world and we just explored it enough just to try and see if that we can survive the night, because it's been a while since I actually played Minecraft, and I would like to try and see if I can get back into that game, because I did have something that was going on. I had a nice little plot of land that I was building up to try and build a castle. But yeah, I haven't actually really done anything with Minecraft, and it's something that we are going to be doing going forward, because there is a big community inside Minecraft. There's a lot of things that's going on, and hopefully in the future I can have a little look at look at that community. And now that Minecraft has gone VR, we've got it all nicely out in we've all got it all nicely out on the PSVR. Yeah, it'll be a good thing to actually look going forward, along with other games such as No Man's Sky when I get back to downloading that. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more going with Minecraft in the future. Also, so what else have we done? As I said, yeah, got a little bit, had a little bit of a wardrobe upgrade, because I kind of wanted to get some sort of mask, because I find that using the mask at the moment it's really problematic using masks. Whenever I wear them, I find it's really hard to breathe. Not the fact that, and also the fact they can't really go over my beard all the time. They tend to fold up and like shove themselves down my throat like it's a gag. Especially when I'm like walking upstairs. So that's one of the reasons why I use this as sort of a replacement. When I'm out in the public, this seems to actually help much better than when I'm using the mask. In fact, using face shields can actually be better for you than actually the mask, because one of the places that's one of the things that I don't know if you can hear me in there, is that viruses tend to show you is your eyes. Although I've got glasses, that should help anyway. But yeah, masks are actually, face shields are actually pretty decent, especially if you find that you are having trouble breathing with masks. Give face shields a go, and they are good. But it's best for use outdoors rather than indoors because of the way the air circulates inside, especially in close proximity. So yeah, when outside, if you can't use a mask outside, try using a face shield. I'm sure you'll find them a heck of a lot better. Right, what else was going on in the community? Star Citizen seems to have taken this Xenothreat to the PTU. We haven't actually had a look at the PTU yet, but I think that the Xenothreat will be coming maybe next week. So once we start having a good look at Xenothreat and any of the new updates that's coming out on Star Citizen, we will be having a look at that.
Attention, people of Stanton. We are the ones in charge. We are Xenothreat.
Going to look at that. Redo the Healer has been quite popular in the anime industry at the moment. They're saying there's a bit of a problem along the same side of what happened with Shield Hero, because in Shield Hero there was basically this female antagonist that kind of seduced the main character and then cried the R word. Well, actually, I don't see why I can't. Cried rape, and therefore everyone hated the main healer. That's why the left-wing Puritans really didn't like that. But now when I heard about Redo the Healer, I decided, oh, another anime I haven't heard of or watched. So I did what I would always do, and that is watched every single cartoon that was out there on it, every single anime that's out there. And once I've done that and found the manga, I read through the entire series in about 1 or 2 afternoons. I kind of enjoyed it, but I feel like a bad person for enjoying it. The idea, spoiler alert by the way, the idea of this was the main character got beaten and raped and tortured and had his friends and families murdered, and he basically went through hell. And then at one point in the future he came up to this idea or plan to rewind time back before all of that happened. So rewind time back about 4 years, I think. And then with knowledge of the future, he went about going about his revenge. It kind of brings you up to a really interesting point. Rape, murder, torture, these are very bad words. Words that are should not be associated with the main character, the main protagonist, the person that we want to assimilate or feel with. But that is exactly what this guy does, constantly, all the time. The entire film is about that, about rape, torture and murder of the people that wronged him in his previous life. And he gives such good justifications about the evils that the people that he's torturing. It's like that film, TV series, Dexter. Now, have you ever heard of Dexter? It was about this psychopathic murderer who went around killing psychopathic murderers. So, yeah. Is it good to do the rape, torture, murder, or torture, rape, murder, in whatever order, to people that are necessarily bad? I don't know. It does sort of kind of rise up those sort of ethical questions. I mean, outright kill them? Or do you want to torture them to the extent that they lose their mind, insanity, or imprison them in their own heads so they don't know who they are? Yeah, it really lets loose, and I can kind of understand why some people don't want to touch it, considering how intensive that it's going. That's the manga. The anime hasn't gotten anywhere near that yet. The anime is has only just gone to the first person that was on his revenge list. The cruel woman that basically beat him up every night, fed him a drug that basically got him addicted. They got him addicted so she could control him like a toy, and then send multiple people, both men and women, to rape him so that they could actually improve in themselves, and also heal the people, which caused him unbelievable amounts of torture for 4 years. That was his first person, and after he's had his way with her by forcing her to accept himself, he wiped her memory, which kind of reminds me of another film. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities of other films that we've watched over the years. This film was, I think it was in 1987. It was a film called Overboard, where basically a spoiled little rich girl who would abuse her servants fell overboard of one of her yachts that she sells, because she's a company involved in selling yachts. She fell overboard, lost her memory, and one of her servants, which was a hillbilly hick with about 20 kids, found her, realised that she had lost her memory, and kind of kind of said that she was his wife and was mother to all these children, and got her doing all like the chores and torments, chores of the hillbilly life. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting in 2019 that film actually got remade, but they swapped the gender roles around. So there was the guy that lost his memory and the girl that was the person. But yeah, I know it's like them taking revenge, but there's certain ethicalities to these, which makes you wonder, makes you think, how moral is the main character? When could they have gone other ways around it? But no, this is their way of exacting their revenge by making the person think that they're loyal to them by having them under their thumb. So I must admit, it was a good watch and it was a good read. Not quite the animes that I like to watch or mangas that I like to read, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. But I can understand why some people do not want to touch this with a 10-foot barge pole, considering the nature of this, because it is quite gruesome, some of the death scenes. It is quite explicit, some of the rape scenes, and some of the torture scenes are just beyond belief, because this guy has been given so much power, so he is so overpowered that he is on the level of a god with what he can actually do with control and manipulation. Just to think he can do anything that he wants, and he does do anything that he wants with his people, with his victims. But yeah, what was the last thing that was on the list? Oh yes, over the last couple of days, on Thursday and Friday, we had another game that we had a nice little walkthrough. It was called Shadow Legend. Shadow Legend, it was a pretty decent game that we were playing through. I keep on wanting to call it Raid Shadow Legends. I've been watching all these YouTube clips all the time, and everyone keeps on saying, "Oh, sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends." No, there's nothing to do with that. Shadow Legend, no S, is basically, it's sort of like sword and sorcery. You can tell that it's a low budget game. You can tell that it's very... I'm going to give it some praise and also some criticisms as well. So I'm not going to hold bars on my little review here of it. I mean, firstly, it is a good game, and I really did quite enjoy playing it. But you can tell that it was not of high quality. It was very poor in animations, very poor in character speech, or when some acting, that's the word I'm looking for. When people are trying to talk to you, it is very stiff. The movements are very stiff. The structure of the world around you was kind of blocky. And there was no doubt in my mind that this is just a computer game that we just got to go from one thing to another. And it was very linear. But that being said, those being downsides, it was quite an enjoyable game to play. I do like the sword play. You could interact with almost everything. Well, I wouldn't say everything, but you can interact with quite a lot. The first level, when you came in, you was inside that forge. You can basically like pick up swords and weapons, hammer out the bents in the swords, or basically sharpen them on the wheel. Climb up the ladders. I mean, it was very much interactive, and I like what they did with the books, because when you pick up a book, the book started reading itself out, because sometimes it was so hard to see. It was a very dark on. That was another criticism. Whenever I look at the YouTube clips, it was very dark, so it's hard to see what's going on there on YouTube. But it was quite light when actually playing, so I could actually see quite easily what was going on. But the fights, I actually quite enjoyed the fights. I wish that I had a shield though, because I end up using this sort of weird torch thing. Instead of fire, it had a beating heart at the end. But I had used that as sort of like parry, block, parry. I wish that I could have held a shield. I really felt that I needed a shield in one hand, so I could help defend and help block some of the incoming attacks. But still, it was quite fun. Say, dodge, parry, block, parry, strike, and every now and again you get like the dotted lines saying you can cut here or here to when you're slicing up your opponents. They're cutting off their arms, bodies, heads. It was quite cool and quite nifty the way that they did that. So most of the characters were pretty like straightforward. As they come at you, beat them up. I want to say that it was like kind of made me think a little bit of Dark Souls meets Skyrim, but it wasn't anywhere near as hard as Dark Souls. But the way I'll say that is, when you meet Dark Souls, every person that you meet, it's not just going to be quickly kill them off and then on to the next person. No, same in here. Each person you have, they come at you and then you have to block their attacks. You have to then strike back, block the attack, strike back. And then sometimes you can have like more than one person like coming at you. And when that happens, you're like trying to fight in two corners. But I managed to make it whilst I was in my walkthrough enough so that I'm only fighting one person at a time, which I thought was cool and interesting enough. But and yeah, the ending, I thought most endings they just roll credits and fade to black. But this ending, they gave you a nice little feel to like playing, feed the horses, fish in the lake, blow the horn or trumpet, and just. I mean, there were certain things that became useless after a certain point, such as like currency and the runes. Because once you've gotten the swords that you need, you didn't need currency or runes anymore, because there was nothing further to gain. But yet they still kept on throwing that stuff at you right up until like the very end. You still could like catch up and grab all the cash that's around, and still got extra runes to find. But there was no need for them, but other than just collection, which I always thought was weird. And yeah, I did like the game Shadow Legends. I thought it was quite an enjoyable playthrough. Not good array of weapons, such as, I mean, you can either have like melee weapons or ranged weapons, such as like your sword, bows, blunderbuster. The blunderbuster was, I think, was one of the more powerful ranged weapons. I thought the axe was supposed to be good, but the ranged weapons on the axe didn't really work out as well. I think the blunderbuster worked much better than the ranged weapon than the axe. But then when you started getting onto the final bosses, they say, just use this weapon instead. And they started giving you weapons that basically shot spells. And oh, it was kind of cool. A few good riddles in there as well that got you thinking. But not necessary to complete. But yeah, it's cool. Anyway, I think I'll call that a day for now. Hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed in creating this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys out there.